What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the truth about music production tutorials. We're going to be talking about why you need to be extra precautious when you're watching music production tutorials, even from me, or even if you're getting production knowledge or tips from the professionals. Regardless who's giving it to you, you need to be cautious. We're going to talk about exactly why you need to be cautious. And then at the end, we're going to talk about how you can journey and how you can travel through this journey and make sure that you're getting the best advice and you're doing everything correctly. So let's get right into it. All right, so let's get right into this. So the first thing you need to keep in mind is that everybody has a different opinion on every single thing out there. You can't take anyone seriously in every single regard, right? Not everybody is going to know everything that is going to work perfectly for everybody in every single scenario. I'm going to give you an example. For example, Kenny Beatz, one of the top producers right now, making some of the craziest beats that I love. He has a motto, and he says you should never sidechain your kick and 808 together. Now, you might be hearing that and be saying, what the fuck, man? Yeah, a lot of people do not agree with that. And I also don't agree. There is going to be certain situations where you're definitely going to want to do it, and there might be other situations where you don't have to do it. But it's never something that you should just say, never sidechain your kick in 808, never do this, never do that. There is no golden rules. Music does not have any rules to it. So you need to take everything that you're hearing with a grain of salt. Not everybody is going to be able to tell you exactly what's going to work in every single situation. And that brings us to point number 2. Every sample, every situation, every plugin, every DAW is going to be different. Okay? You're not going to be using the same exact sample with the same exact plugin and the same exact DAW at the same exact time in the same exact context of a beat as somebody else. So you're going to need to make sure that you're not just taking what they say with a grain of salt, right? And you're just doing exactly what they tell you to do. Like I said, you're not in the same exact situation, and every situation is going to be different and call for different things. So when you're going ahead and taking this advice, you need to make sure that you're not just doing what they say because they said to do it. You need to make sure that if you do what they said and it actually sounds good and it improves your mix or it improves your beats or it actually helps you, then yeah, keep rolling with it and keep going with that. But if it's not helping, don't just do that thing because they told you to do it and because they're an authority or they're a professional producer like Kenny Beatz or they're anybody else who you might look up to or want to model your production after. It's going to be super important because guess what? There's millions of plugins. There's a bunch of different DAWs. There's millions of samples, all right? And there's millions of different people and different beats, right? No two beats are ever going to be the same unless you're psycho and you're using like all loops, and maybe someone out there has done the same thing, but I doubt it, all right? Nothing's going to be exactly the same. So the rules are not always going to apply. Like I said, there are no rules in music. The third point is that humans are naturally lazy. And I don't know if I want to say lazy or if I want to say it like humans just naturally tend to want to find the quickest solution to any problem and move on to the next thing. We just see a solution and we don't think twice about it. We just take action on that, and that becomes our new rule, our new norm. And I'm guilty of this myself. I've done this for a very long time, especially when I started making beats. I can remember going ahead and trying to make my 808s get that distorted feel and copying tutorials like to the brim and never being able to get it to sound exactly like they did in that video. And it's because of some of the things we talked about earlier. It wasn't the same DAW, or it wasn't the same plugins, or it wasn't the same exact samples. Nothing is going to be perfect, so you can't take everything so seriously. So since we know that us humans are naturally just going to go towards the easiest solution, take it, and then run with it, we need to prepare ourselves and we need to remind ourselves that it's not really that simple. It never is that simple. There can be multiple approaches to any single problem. So let's now talk about the solution and how we can journey through this world and get the best music production knowledge so that we're tooled and that we're ready for any situation that comes our way. So the best way that I think you can do it is you can look at a few different points on any one subject. let's say you're trying to get your kicks to hit through the mix and you want them to be clippy and distorted and sound amazing, but not too much to where it flattens it out and sounds like a shitty pancake at Waffle House. Sorry if you like Waffle House. But anyways, so yeah, take a couple different approaches. Look at a couple different tutorials, maybe by different people, and see what technique they're doing to get their kick to punch that way or to distort a certain way. And then what you're going to want to do is go ahead and test it in your beats. Test out those different ways, and you're going to want to find out which way works best for you with the plugins, the DAW, and the samples that you have available at that time. All right, so that's going to be the best approach, is to take a couple different opinions and formulate your own opinion based on all these. Make your own hypothesis. You need to be the ultimate deciding factor in what is the best route to take for each single thing. You need to be the one that says, okay, this is how I'm going to start doing it from now on because this is actually what sounds the best. This isn't what Fearless told me. This isn't what Kenny Beatz told me. This isn't what Murder Beats told me to do. This is what I did and I understand sounds the best for the kind of music and the type of style that I'm going for. You have to build your own tool belt. So you're going to start picking up these little things. You're going to be testing out different areas of your mix, different areas of your beat, getting different opinions on each of these things, and then you're going to pick the best one from each of them, and this is how you're going to come up with your own style and your own way of making beats. This is how you're going to develop your sound. So start doing this, and then you're never going to have to worry about following someone's advice to the T and wondering why it doesn't sound exactly the same or why it's not working out well. Trust me, it's going to be a huge relief to do this, and you're going to get way better in the process and start to develop your own sound instead of trying to copy someone else's, because it's the easy way forward. All right, guys, enough rambling. That's all I wanted to say. You just got to be careful with the music production tutorials that are out there these days, and try not to just take everything so seriously. Take everything with a grain of salt, and make sure you're doing your own testing to make sure what they're saying is actually true and works in your situation. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, make sure to smash that like button for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, because we're uploading daily videos that you're not going to want to miss out on. And besides that, I'll be catching you guys again in the next one. Peace out.